Yo, BQuanchi here, back at it again with another tier maker list video. This time focusing on Final Fantasy VI. Before I get started, I always like to say the best way to support me in the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. I do other random tier videos, a lot of gaming one as well, kind of like a let's play. Also streaming on Twitch. With those streams get uploaded as VODs on the YouTube channel BQuanchi all around. You can find links in the description of the video as well. And also, I'm gonna put a link to this exact tier list video, tier list maker, in the description of the video. So I did make this one myself. Sometimes I find it's kind of hard to find a good tier list for certain subjects, but I just kind of slapped this one together. And yeah, gonna rank the Final Fantasy VI characters. It's gonna be a kind of a casual method of it. And this might be a little frustrating as well because it's been a really good moment, a long time since I played this game. I'm almost tempted to get the Pixel Remaster and revisit and play that one, maybe even stream that as well. So let me know if you want me to check that out. It's funny, a lot of my Final Fantasy, at least the retro ones, that I kind of revisited when they still had Final Fantasy Record Keeper, which was a mobile game that ended its global version service. That's why he's fell in love with more of the characters even more. So let's get to it. So this again might be a little bit more casual, but it's kind of like my tier list my way. But also be interested to hear like people's complaints of what I chose or opinions as well, good or bad. Be nice, I guess. But let's get started. So Terra, I'm going to give her I kind of like the introduction to Final Fantasy VI because it is kind of mysterious, and then you kind of realize, oh, she has this hypno crown, and then you find out like her past that she's like half Esper. I think they use the word Esper for Final Fantasy VI for the summons. I know it's like Indolons or Guardian Forces or summons or calls. I think Final Fantasy IV for the last call, but I think Esper was one that they used for Final Fantasy VI. It looks like completely off base, but yeah, I feel like in these later games, I feel like in previous ones, the main character would always be like a knight character or all that, and you can argue like I don't know. Post in the comments below who is the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VI, because I hear a couple of the other party members. I know some of these are optional, so you don't have to get them in your team. I forget. I know. Like after the middle of the game, you can actually go to the end of the game with a very small party. But yeah, I kind of like how they kind of made it more like a magic user. Yeah, I did have like that's one thing. Going back to Final Fantasy Record Keeper, I did have like really good abilities with her, so I did really like when I had to use my Final Fantasy 16. And then next we have Locke. I know he's also one of the favorites, and he's like one of the debatable main protagonists of Final Fantasy 6, and he's the thief type. I think he's one of, you can argue that he's one of the more stronger forces in terms of the narrative and storytelling in Final Fantasy 6. We like him, but I'm gonna give him a B. I feel bad, but I don't know. I might change things up, but yeah, I think for now he's a B. And then next we have Edgar. And it's kind of cool, like he's actually a king character, and he joins your party and stuff like that. So you always kind of like in previous games would be like maybe you have a prince or like Prince Edward from 4 or whatever. But it's going to be like someone who, even though his kingdom is kind of maybe not as, I don't know. I really have to revisit the game and story, but it felt like, and compared to like the big Emperor and Kafka and stuff like that. I also kind of like the idea that you can get tools that you can use in battles. I think I like that mechanic, so I'm gonna put him as a B. And also his brother, Sabin, his twin brother. I, I think I like him. I'm trying to debate if I like him more. It's getting close call. This is still becoming Sophie's choice. Um, I'm gonna put, I'm gonna put him as A. Cause like his like I'm trying to remember. Can you use any of his? I know. I think maybe you learned them. I'm trying to recall like his special abilities. Is it called Blitz? I think that's a common one for the monk or fighting type characters. I'm trying to think if I'm confusing that with Cell and Final Fantasy VIII, but even the ability, I know they did a really good quality of life update for the Pixel remaster, so you can't really mess up, or you can like try over. So I really like that. I think that's why I kind of like ring a little bit high, because I think they really updated him to be a little bit more, I guess, user friendly when it comes to the abilities and all that. And then, yeah, let's move on. And then we have, what's his name? Cyan, that's it. Samurai character. I like him a lot too. I'm gonna put him as a B. I'm debating to put an A. I know there was an annoying thing in the original release that when you use his like Bushido abilities, you had to wait for it to charge up, and then select it. But then that would dominate like your action until you choose. Versus, I think in the remaster, I'm pretty sure they updated it so you just choose what you want to perform, and he'll just take his time to do it. But then that doesn't hold up the rest of your actions with the other party characters and all that. So I kind of want to play around with him more in the remaster just because of that quality of life update. But yeah, I think that sounds fair. Next we have Gwa, the little feral boy. I think he has an interesting story as well. But I don't like using him that much. I know he has like a unique mechanic with him is that he can like learn different abilities on that, but I feel like I'm gonna give him a D, just because I don't like him as much as a character. I think they do some cool, unique things with him. I think there's a glitch. I'm not sure if they stuck around with other releases, because I also hear the Game Boy Advance port of Final Fantasy VI is probably one of the best ones to get. It was like the PSP and the PlayStation one that they did in like collections. There's anthology, I forget, but there was like I'm not sure if you call it a glitch or just like a something you can an exploit. We like equip a certain accessory to him, and then he can use like this wind move, and we'll just spam it over and over. Because I think they call it, like, Wind God at Gual glitch or something like that. But yeah, I don't really like using him that much. He's an interesting character, but I'll say he's a D. And then we have Celes. And one of the other like debatable main protagonists of the game, and of course like there's that famous opera scene as well. I'm gonna put it as an A. I also like how she has a special ability where she absorbs magic and all that. It's pretty cool, like introduction as well. So I think she, like in the story, like she was experimented on, and that's why she can use magic. Versus Terra can use magic because she's half Esper or something like that. So I think she has a kind of an interesting, like even working for the Empire and all that. But I really have to revisit the story. But I think she's a lot more memorable character and all that. And next we have Setzer. Say that right? Hold on, I just want to make sure. That's Setzer. I put it out by mistake, but he's cool, but I don't like using him that much. Maybe it's because of all the gambler abilities with like the slots and stuff like that. A little random. I'm gonna put it as a C. I kind of like some aspects that he like has this airship, and then they need him for the airship and stuff like that, and I don't know. So I think his role in the story is interesting, but I just don't like him as much. And the next we have Shadow. I really like his design. I think he's one of my favorite ninja character sprites out of the earlier Final Fantasy games. Whether it be like Job Class or like Edge in Final Fantasy IV. I'm gonna put it as an A. I just really like. He has a dog. He has what's his name? What's his dog's name? Is it Interceptor? I have to look that up real quick. I'm Pretty sure, and I'm gonna sound like an idiot if I get that wrong, but yes, I was right. Interceptor is the name of his dog, and I think it has a unique backstory as well. I think if you like have one party where you rush to the end, you kind of see more snippets of it. And he's one of the characters you can actually lose permanently. Like if you, I think when you're on a floating continent, if you leave before he gets back, you can lose him forever. Um, it is kind of unique thing. Like again, some of these characters are optional, and but yeah, I really like his design, so he's definitely a favorite. Then next we have Relm. I feel their story because I know she also has her. It's like her adoptive grandfather or father Strago right after this, but I think that's a unique aspect with like painting the portraits. I know in the Record Keeper, the mobile game, she uses a lot for like her limit breaks or whatever. It's a good healer. I'm gonna give her a C. I feel like she's a little bit more memorable for some of the child characters, although you don't see them too much in the series. Because I like it more than Krill in 5. Maybe argue maybe better than Echo, what do you call her in Final Fantasy 9? But she seems okay. And next we have Strago. Was this no? The Final Fantasy 5 definitely had the blue magic, but he has blue magic as well. How do we remember? Because I think you can learn a lot of magic and abilities with the espers you equipped. Unless I'm getting it completely wrong, calling them espers, so someone can yell at me in the comments. But I'm gonna give him a B because I'm like comparing. I get a little all over the place with my thinking, but I like him a lot more than Terra from 4. So I think when it comes to like Old Man Mage, I think this character is a lot better in terms of his design and story, and I don't know. I think that feels a little bit right. Then next we have the Mog. I remember this is the. I remember renting Final Fantasy. Well, it was 3 back in the day for the U.S. release. I remember save file had like the Mog characters, and I think there's a armor that makes your character have the same sprites. I remember like they had like 2 or 3 Mogs in the party, and even that intro like early in the game we have like all these different Mogs fighting together. I wish they would use it more often. I think the Game Boy Advance like somewhat sequel spin-off to Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Advance has a unit that's a Moogle. I don't remember how useful he is. I think they have like the dance abilities. I think maybe they updated that in the remaster. From its design alone, I want to put him in A, but I feel B is more than fair. I think that still has my bias to it. Yeah, I think that's right. I really like his, especially like this iteration of Moogle. And 6 is one of my more preferred ones. Versus like in Final Fantasy 9 had, I really like the design. It's kind of treated this one too, but like in later games or whatever. But yeah, next, I think is it Umaro? Yeah, Umaro, if I'm saying that right, the snowman. The optional character, this one would probably be the F of this tier list. Because I believe, I gotta get more familiar with it, but I think he's kind of like the berserker of the game. He just kind of like fights automatically. Although I know he's one of the stronger physical characters and all that. Maybe I gotta get more familiar. I might getting this completely wrong. Maybe you can make him go berserk. But okay, from looking at like checking through walkthroughs, yeah, I can't really do much. He's just like a berserker, and I think it's kind of cool to have like a snowman, like wild snowman, on the team and all that. But yeah, he deserves an F. I might get some flack for that, but that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And then next we have Gogo. This is an interesting one. I gotta get more familiar with this game because I don't think I use Gogo that much. I know there's a lot of lore. I think always the same Gogo from Final Fantasy V, Or there's even saying that I think there's like a theory that he was actually the wait, they don't even gender, so it's they. Excuse my pronouns. I guess they. I think they do like a he/she thing. I know they do that sometimes, like Final Fantasy, like with Quinn as well. But they definitely don't make their pronouns as clear or the gender, which doesn't really matter. But this is the mimic character, so that's why it's like, oh, it's Gogo. People think it's like the Emperor when Capcom threw him off the floating continent that he survived and became Gogo. I gotta be familiar with him, but I'm gonna give it a C. Like, I like the idea. I just have to revisit it. I don't think I really used Gogo that much in my old playthroughs of Final Fantasy VI, but need to revisit that. And next, this is kind of a weird one I add to the tier maker, is General Leo. Because I don't think you ever get him as a playable character. I really wish he was... I feel like that was set up, but I believe he gets killed off. That would have been so cool. But I did get it. They did put him in Final Fantasy Record Keeper. I think even some of the other mobile games as well. I'm gonna give him a C. Kind of weird to have him on the list, but I felt like just I could mention him too. Like he deserves. I wish there was a way to like. If they could rewrite a history in Final Fantasy game, like make him playable, make him a party character, and all that. This last one is also a little bit random as well. Banon, I believe his name is. I think he's part of the. Is it the Returners? His name, like the Resistance group and all that. He actually is playable, I believe, unless I'm completely mistaken. But it's like a very short time. I think when you're on like the rafts with Terra and all that. And it's an annoying thing that I think if he dies falls in battles, you get a game over. Even though party characters fall all the time, like you can't revive and all that. So it's just like to point out, hey, he's not a useless playable character for a very short time. That would have been cooler if they kind of like kept him and kind of like, hey, remember this character was almost like annoying, like babysitting one, and now he's like a useful party member. But I'm gonna give him an F. Just because he's technically playable, but yeah, that's my tier list maker video. Kind of a short one, but it kind of oddball choices as well. Yeah, I feel some of them I feel like maybe not the best choice, but I really have to revisit this game, and I might even just bite the bullet, get the remaster, and just stream it. All the RPG games can be pretty lengthy to stream. I could always like take breaks and level up and grind between them. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. So again, the best way to support me and the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. BQuanchi all around. You can find links in the description of the video, as well as a link to this exact tier maker. I'm not sure if this is the best one, but I kind of at least like how it's like the game sprites and all that. So I feel like my little desire to be organized and stuff like that, it looks decent in my opinion. But yeah, comment below, tell me how bad my choices are and why I'm wrong, or any fun trivia. If you can't think of much fun trivia, like what's your favorite character and why is your favorite character of Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, that'll do it for this video. So y'all take care and have a good rest of your day. Bye.